I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got it. I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough time. Cause I'ma live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I can feel the blood creeping.
Yo. What's going on, everybody? We're back again. As you can see, there's currently two of us. Our brothers are trying their best to come in the show today, but as of right now, we're just going to hold it down until they get here. So actually, I will hold off on the intros. We'll actually just do it real short. As you know, I'm K Marvel. The guy to my right is Stryker Dragoon. And currently, we are two of your four corners of commentary. First and foremost, let's just cover the bases.
The straight line of
Right.
commentary.
With a line of commentary. It's a two-man booth. It's a two-man booth. We're JR and King right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Current moment. Yep.
Huh?
I said at the current moment. Yeah.
Yeah. With JR and King. Yeah, like it is what it is. But how you feeling, bro?
Before my mic has a heart attack. I'm good. I'm just life is life and as usual. But
ain't it always?
Yeah. I mean, can't complain at this point. It is what it is.
Nah, look, man. We all.
It's how we deal with it. It's how
right.
We deal with it.
No, absolutely, and you know it's. I've said this before on different shows, and you know we said it on here all the time, right? We just gotta, you know, it's like what you said. It's about how we handle it, and you know, moving forward, and just honestly, just trying to make the best out of every situation, right? Not everything is going to be sunshines and rainbows and all of this other stuff, but you know, we gotta make it what it is, right? So,
shoot,
but
if you can make it sunshine and rainbows, then hey, God bless. But
look, hey, listen, man,
life be life, and at times that's the what can I say? That's the curse of adulthood. Life be life, and as a kid, you ain't got much to worry about. As an adult,
well, as life in general, right? Because let's be honest, sometimes there are kids that go through a lot too. So
that's very true.
So you know, it is what it is. It's like I said, it's about how we handle these situations. So,
of course,
pardon me. Damn, I was trying to cough. Damn, excuse me.
You could tell I was
going
through the ringer. You could tell I was going through the ringer tonight because shit, hat's all nasty, face all messed up.
Whatever, dog, you be like that. I don't know what else to say. But anyway, so we're just gonna start on a few topics as we wait for our people to come in.
And thank you to everybody who's trickling in now. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're a half an hour. We're close to a half an hour late, but I mean, life be life, and as we said, but thank you guys for watching.
Yeah, look, I couldn't have said it any better myself. So thank you guys for joining us once again. We appreciate y'all so much. We have a few topics that we definitely want you guys to chime in on. Even if you know old school wrestling, some of these topics are definitely up to date. And as we speak about up to date, one of our brothers is here. QS.
Oh, y'all. What up, yo?
What's good, bro?
What up, though?
What is, right? So
it is what it is.
Ain't it? So you know what? Since there's at least three of us, let's do our normal intro and bring it in the right way. as you guys
Sure.
already know, I am your man, K Marvel.
Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? It's your boy QS.
Right now, the big stretch is not here, obviously, but he is going to try his best to come on in.
I gotta change that. Rest in peace to Bray as usual. Hold on, let me change it.
What does that mean?
Quick.
Oh, I know
Either
my
world.
connection is kind of bugging out. And as y'all know, we are your Four Corners of Commentary. Yeah, did it work? Did it work? Did it work? Did it work? Booyaka. And
Three of the four? Three
Three to
of
four.
four?
Yeah, wrong
Okay.
buttons. Things are bugging. But yeah,
Three of-
folks.
Yeah,
So
we not doing it. It ain't it.
listen, man, we gonna get through it, right? We got to. So as I was saying, we're gonna jump into some of these topics. Let's cover last week first, or last weekend, I should say. So as we know, or as you guys know, we had two pay-per-views this weekend. One on Saturday, one on Sunday. Saturday was NXT No Mercy, and Sunday was AEW WrestleDream, which was a tribute show to the great, the legend, rest in peace, Antonio Inoki.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that
He'd
being
be
said,
rolling in his grave.
hey, whoa, relax.
I want to go that far.
Jeez.
Yikes.
All right. You ain't gotta hate.
I'm sorry,
Let's
I've been
get
watching.
there.
I've been watching a lot of
Jeez.
Uncle Corny these past 2 weeks, so pardon my energy. Okay.
Damn. But as we talk about these topics, what I want to do is kind of how we've been covering it. We're just going to talk about, you know what? Let's just talk positives. All right. Let's cover one match or moment from No Mercy that stood out to you the most. So, Q, you want to start us?
The positives?
Yes, sir. Ooh.
You were saying the positives?
Yes, yeah.
Hold up.
Like pick out one moment that or do it this way.
mean,
Like pick out one moment that stood out to you.
Of course, Ilya Dragunov and Carmelo Hayes. That match by far was one of the best matches of the weekend.
Absolutely.
They killed it, sold it out. Like so unorthodox and how reckless his style of wrestling. It's just all over the place. Like he literally uses his body, throws his body over. It was crazy to just see how he won. What's up, Tiff? The way that he won. He didn't even won with Torpedo Moscow. He literally just won just straight off, just taking somebody out with that, taking Mello out with the elbow. It was just like, eesh. I ain't gonna lie, that was the most I ever seen Carmelo get beat. Carmelo got whooped. He got whooped that weekend. So I was just like, yeah, that. But it was also what I loved is the presentation. Loved how, he comes out like the dragon. Came out as a dragon this time. Loved how Mello was coming out with the banners of everyone that he's beaten. Everybody that he's beaten, by basically trying to make it seem like it was going to be a third time for Ilya, and it just wasn't happening. But I mean, I would like to see where this goes. I like to see where it goes. That was a good positive for me. That match alone.
Something I'll mention too with that match, man. I know you said Carmelo got beat, but honestly, when I think it was kind of equal, man. Carmelo brought everything he had to Ilya. You know what I mean? Like it was brutal. I think it was brutal on both sides. You know, it just so happened that
Mhm.
once he sprung off the ropes and then did that flying dropping elbow,
Yeah,
it was nutty. It was
yeah,
nutty.
it was all. It was
And then from the top rope,
Yeah.
man,
You know,
my
the
boy.
amount of
What's good,
precision you
Randy?
need.
Yeah,
this
yeah.
hating
What's
ass
good,
Randy.
bro?
nigga. Hating ass nigga.
Yeah, but
They gotta put. They got honestly. They gotta put that. They gotta put that. They gotta put that elbow. They gotta put that in it. They gotta put that in future games. Like that. That's it. That was.
Oh yeah,
That was. I was
that's
like, oh yeah,
happening.
that's it.
for
That's
sure.
happening.
I think he's good. Definitely gonna be high up in the next game. Definitely gotta be.
I mean,
At
listen.
least an 80. At
Look,
least an
listen,
80.
that elbow, just think about the practicality
He's
of
high.
it, right?
He's higher than 80. He's higher than 80 in the current one right now.
Was he like
Is he?
84?
Think like 85.
See,
Okay.
well, that's even better than I thought they'd give him. That's crazy.
Yeah, listen, man. Ilya's a
Yeah,
beast.
he's up
You know
there.
what
He's
I
in
mean?
the
Well,
80s. He's
I
in the 80s. He's
personally
up there.
know that, but you know NXT UK and how they give crappy ratings to NXT stars when really they should be way higher than what they are. You already know how that goes. But
No, I get it. No, I understand.
to further add to your point of your choice, yes, that was probably the best match of the weekend, if not one of the best this weekend.
What's a positive for you, Strike?
Mm, I'm gonna do something that nobody was gonna think I was gonna say. Baron Corbin getting a win this weekend.
Yup. Great match.
Regardless I mean, he's a heel, so it makes perfect sense anyway. But they're both heels if you think about it. But
Right. They are.
just him getting the interference win and winning with end of days, no less. I think that's awesome. Because Braun was kicking out of everything, getting out of everything else that Corbin was doing, and the end of days is about to be back on the rise again. So I'm kind of glad they're trying to build Corbin. I don't know what the hell type of character they're trying to give him. He has the entrance of a pirate. He comes out with a motorcycle, looking like I'm not even like the American Badass, just looking like the Sons of Anarchy, dude. They got to pick something with the character.
Well, here's the thing, though, right? Saturday's entrance was a tribute to Ghost Rider. That was the whole thing on Saturday.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, that was on his pants. It was a skull with the flaming. He had the leather on. That's exactly what it was. It was a Ghost Rider entrance. Now, granted, yeah, of course, we're gonna say things like American Badass, and even if you go before that, you think of Crush and all of them. So, excuse me. So, but it was definitely Ghost Rider. Like that was something that I had caught as soon as he came out, and I mean, besides the fact that it's in the name, but that was my thing. So I appreciated the, we're all blurs up in here. So just anytime, I guess I can say for us, it's like anytime somebody cosplays as something or it's noticeable, we mark out for it. You know what I mean? Zelina with not only her Demon Slayer gear, but her Aaliyah gear, or the New Day coming out as Saiyans, coming out as Power Ranger gear, coming out with just the multiple styles and things that all of these people, or Shayna Baszler doing Warhammer, like I'm not into it, but I know a ton of people who are. So cosplay is really so ingrained in the wrestling industry now.
Yep.
That it's amazing. Like, I mean, I really don't know what else we can say. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah, but even if you think about it, even without the cosplay aspect, wrestlers are technically cosplayers because they have to wear gear a certain way, and it's also something that can be mimicked in a way that can be cosplayed. So technically, they are Technically, they add to it, I guess you could say, or they're still a part of that community in a sense. Whether they're
Right.
adding their own character to it, or if they're meshing another style or another genre in with wrestling. So it works both ways, hand wash hand, basically.
No, absolutely, absolutely. Randy said, "Thank the New Day for that." I, I
Yeah.
mean, they were a huge part of it. I know there were definitely people before them also. I think
Mhm.
somebody who deserves a lot of respect too is Alexa Bliss. Her coming out with the Iron Man gear and the Freddy Krueger gear and things like that.
Harley Quinn.
Yeah, I mean, there's a
I
ton.
think
I
she
mean,
did Chucky as well. Yeah,
yeah,
she
she
did a
definitely
bunch.
did Chucky. I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So, but yeah, Baron Corbin getting that win was dope. Was real
Mhm.
dope.
Yeah, it just further proves that what they're doing with NXT is always how it should have been. And
Yeah,
I think even when you look back to the original season of NXT, we're not talking about the main roster crap they did that the reality show. When you look back to the first season of NXT, you started to see people trickling down to NXT, having promos, having interactions, whether it's with champions or people that's on their way up, whether it was
Mhm.
CM Punk or John Cena or Miz or all these other people that came down to NXT early on. You can see that's how it was built. That's how it was
definitely.
supposed to be built.
Well, I mean, listen,
So
let's not crap on the original quote unquote NXT, because without NXT, we wouldn't have had some some amazing moments, like moments with the Nexus, moments with Daniel Bryan, and I know he's Bryan Danielson, but then he
mhm,
was Daniel Bryan.
in context, right?
Daniel Bryan and Miz. You know,
Mhm.
there was a lot of things that grew from that also. So
Husky
I,
Harris turning
there's a
into
lot. Yo,
Bray
look, man.
Wyatt.
in a sense, it built
Titus,
character for them. And
there was a lot,
it was the
and
character slash out of character
yeah,
experience,
right.
basically.
It was essentially it was a reality game show.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It was like wrestling's. It was like WWE's version of Road Rules.
Right.
You know, in a sense. You know what I mean? That now that's a throwback for people. Um, but for me, one of my favorite moments of the night was definitely Trick winning the NXT title. I mean, the North American title. Now, granted, uh, if y'all didn't know, he did lose it 2 nights later back to Dominic Mysterio. To which, listen, I know people don't like it. I'm not necessarily a fan of it. I did call it, but I think it goes to show two different things, right?
Mhm.
The fact that the response that Trick got solidifies that he's a star. That's number one.
Yep.
Number two, it builds on Dom's character. The fact that it seems like, I don't want to say that he can't succeed without the Judgment Day, because he did beat Dragon Lee without them, which is a
Right.
fact. But it does solidify that he kind of quote unquote needs the Judgment Day.
Well, ultimately, the way they book the faction, that's how it's gonna be. They're not just
Yeah.
one person; they are all an entity all together.
Absolutely.
So one
Absolutely.
doesn't work without the other.
Yeah.
The beautiful thing is, it did take 5 people getting involved.
Right.
That's
Right. And once
that's what
So
again,
that's why I don't understand like why folks are literally sitting here acting like Trick got buried. Like it literally took 5 people to take out Trick. And we already know Trick's a star. He has the charisma. He has the charisma. You even saw it on Monday Night Raw. Like he came out, he said it with that promo. You know, my name is Trick Williams. I'm 6'2", 240 pounds of pure muscle. I got gold on my ears, gold on my wrists, and gold around my waist. That right there alone was just like star, superstar.
right.
Solidifies it.
Absolutely.
But it also goes to show that was the initiation process. All right. He can handle this. He still has a ways to go. He's still got a ways to go. He's good.
I mean,
I already know on the mic and charisma wise, yeah, Trick is good. Trick's great as even as a manager, but obviously, he's still vastly improving in the ring. Let him keep on improving. It's all good.
And to add to that point too, right? And also to dispute a little bit, they all have a lot to go, right? I mean, Carmelo Hayes has been doing this for quite some time now, even on the indie scene, and and he has it. Like, there's no fucking doubt about it. There's no doubt about it whatsoever. He has what it takes. But there might, I guess my thing is this: everybody, even superstars or pro wrestlers that's been doing this for a decade or more, still needs fine tuning, right? There's always that learning. We always, like, there's that quote that we all. Side note, I just got distracted by your hat. That's fire. We all got distracted. We all got distracted. Jesus. There's the quote that you're constantly learning. And in pro wrestling, I think it shows more than a lot of other sports. You know what I mean? So look, I'm just very excited to see what's next, to see how I can't do that, to see how these things move and what the next few steps are. Let's jump to what happened?
I mean, also shout outs. I would say I forgot, shout outs to the main event that I couldn't even
absolutely.
I thought somebody would have probably chosen it. But yeah, the main event obviously was chaotic, but it was a fun chaotic. It was fun.
Yeah.
And it was right. Tiffany Stratton has arrived. I think it's so, again, I think what they got right down there in NXT, these NIL performers, this is like they got it. Like the Tiffany Strattons, the Sol Rukas, you can even go. You can even put Lash Legend. You can put the Jakar Jackson. They got it. They got it. It's like, oh, okay, this is interesting. They're coming up. Like whatever Shawn Michaels has got down there going with them is cooking. It's working, and they're committed. They're committed to learn. They're learning the craft, and they're picking it up like this. The fact that Tiffany Stratton is like only been like wrestling for about 2 years,
something like that, yeah.
And she's already picked it up. She's already something like that. 2 years, and she's already looking like a natural.
2 years.
Shout out to Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch is also a vet in the ring. Looking like a star. That girl is a star. Like there is no way to say like, oh, this shit is buried, all that. No, it's like it's opportunities is happening.
And shout out to Becky for quote and for protecting. That's what I'll say. For protecting Tiffany when she did the swanton.
Yeah, for protecting her from that swanton. Yeah,
that could have been really bad. So shout out to.
But isn't that where she had a laceration?
It could have been, but either way, she protected her because she grabbed her as they went down.
Yeah.
So that.
But it's very possible that's probably where the laceration came from.
It could have been
from the table spot.
But listen,
you have.
Right?
It's a two persons. Takes two people to tango in the ring.
Yes, absolutely.
It's not only taking a move but protecting both people at the same time. So.
Right. So let's jump to WrestleDream. So WrestleDream, there was a lot of things. There was a lot of different pieces happening. When it comes to matches, for me, I think one of the good things that I really enjoyed. Sorry, I'm trying to run through it because so much stuff has happened. Or if you guys got one already, y'all can go so I can like reformulate what I was gonna say.
Wait, WrestleDream? WrestleDream, I'd say it was a solid pay-per-view. I enjoyed it. I would probably say my favorite match would have probably been really the main event. Okay. Only because it's like it's always interesting to see one. Christian Cage is really like bottom line star. Christian Cage does what he needs to do.
He's always been here, man.
It's always been there. You knew this we knew this since Impact. Hell, we knew this even before even though he was always in the shadow before of Adam, now Adam Copeland. But even then, it was just that spot, that steel step spot where him and Darby Allin, where like Darby hit those steps. I said it to a friend while I was watching it. I said, Darby's not gonna really have the way he keeps taking these bumps. I would just be like, yo, he gonna have to slow it down. He gonna slow it down.
Yeah,
has to slow it down at some point. I know this shit hurts. I know he's hurt in pain. Ain't no fucking way. I would say if I was in his shoes, I'd have been like, yeah, I'm done. After that, when my back hits that step like that, I'd have been like, oh yeah, I ain't getting back up. I'd have been like, yo, y'all might as well cancel the main event. I ain't getting back up. They would have been sitting here whispering to me like, yo, you good? You good? Nope, not getting up.
Nope.
Nah, sorry. Calling it in, phone it in.
And he hit it twice.
No, I'm good.
Once from the front.
Yeah, twice. Exactly. He's like the first time. It's like the first time it wasn't enough. So he did it again. And it was just like, oh shit. Like I was just like, oh. I was feeling my back was hurting. I had to get the massage gun after that. I was like, oh. Right. But honestly, like it was good. I mean, even seeing Nick Wayne betray Darby Allin, I was like, I shook my head. I was like, Nick ain't forget. He didn't forget how he forgave AR Fox that quickly. I was just like, see, he didn't forget. It's the North remembers. It is what it is. But they all remember. It's just like, yo, you got to pay. Like everyone tries to say and think, because I know everybody was watching this and like, there's some people that will sit there and be like, where's the story? Where's the story in that? Why did he betray him? Well, because he just felt like Darby wasn't in his corner. He felt like Darby didn't really have his back. You went and forgave AR Fox just like that after he broke into my crib and beat the living shit out of me to the point I almost died. Like, yeah, I still say Nick took it a little personal. So when I was looking at it, I was like, hey, he ain't wrong. Nick ain't wrong. No, but then after, obviously, them coming out and trying
we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get to the end.
Okay, gotcha. I'll hold that. Y'all can speak your match, but yeah, Christian winning, that was obvious. It was more than obvious. I was like, yeah, he's winning.
Yeah. Strike. I'm surprised.
Keith Lee being on the card.
Oh yeah, Keith Lee on the buy-in, and it was a multi-tag, 8-person multi-tag match.
Yep, mixed person tag.
And my only thing about that was who was on what side. You know what I mean? Like that threw me off. But all in all, look, you have 8 great wrestlers, 8 great talents. Shout out to Billy Starks for signing officially with AEW. Yes, sir. So now Billy and Nick Wayne are now the youngest signees to AEW, which is pretty dope.
18, correct, for both?
Yes.
Did
you have anything else about that? Or a different match
in general? Match wise,
I'm really shocked.
I really enjoyed Brian?
Yes.
I mean, of course. I think that's more than obvious,
No, fuck out of here. I'm not. I knew. I'm gonna say that the reason why I didn't fucking pick that, I'm not picking that match, and I'm not fucking with that match because the wrong man won. I don't give a fuck. That shit was cheap. This is supposed to be the greatest technical match of all time. This is the greatest match of all time. Oh, we're gonna see who's the best technical wrestler. Finally, Bryan Danielson, the Dragon, Zack Sabre Jr. Man's won with a knockout. Are we serious? Wait, what?
Wait, hold on. Wait.
I'm pissed because Zack Sabre Jr. really had that man dead to rights. He had that man dead to rights.
He did.
Dead to rights. You're not telling me nothing.
Wait, hold on.
Not telling me nothing. We saw the way how Brian was struggling with that Romero special. We saw the torques. I seen it all. I'm just like, yo, this is crazy. This is some bullshit. All
But
right.
wait, but granted, both
This
of them did
if this
mention
supposed,
that.
all I'm saying, if this is supposed to be Bryan Danielson's retirement tour, this ain't the fucking way. I ain't fucking with it like this. Like, yo, you beating all of everybody's New Japan's favorite. You beating all the legends now all of a sudden? Nah, that's not the way we going out. We're not doing that. I'm still salty.
But,
yes,
well,
and I'm still
granted-
salty about him beating Okada. Still salty. Still salty.
No, but
still.
wait, but granted, they both did say that. They both did say that, you know, of course, you know, Zack Sabre Jr. is pissed off because he beat him with a knee. And then Brian was like, look, it got to a point where I had no choice but to pull that move out. You know what I mean? So it seems like they are going to end up doing another match somewhere
It
down
should
the
be a
line.
submission match.
It needs to be a submission match. That's going to
And
be
do it in his,
submission.
and do it in his. Dude, go to his home turf. Go to Japan
Oh,
and do
it-
that shit.
Tokyo
Yeah,
Dome.
try that shit.
Hands down.
Try it again.
That's a Tokyo
Yeah,
Dome
try it
match.
again. Fucking
Do it
Fucking
straight
Zack
at
Sabre
Wrestle-
Jr. over here was doing y'all a favor, coming over here to y'all fucking stomping grounds and giving y'all the fucking, trying to give you the viewership, trying to be, you're fucking welcome. Shit is crazy.
I mean, look, let's
Sorry, y'all. I don't like seeing
right?
I don't like seeing my people from New Japan getting done dirty like this every fucking time they over here wrestling in fucking in AEW. I'm getting sick of this shit. I ain't with it. I ain't with it.
I do agree with that.
This looks like it just looks like a fucking universe mode simulation every fucking time. I'm just like, yo, that's wild, crazy. That's wild.
Not even, bro. Because if it was universe, some of them would have won.
Damn sure. Yep. Definitely sure.
So I'll say this. I gotta give it to Swerve and Hangman. They put on a hell of a match. The right man won, in my opinion. I think, you know, I was talking to my coworker and he's like, you know, Tony doesn't like people losing in their hometowns. And that was my worry, was that Swerve was going to lose in Seattle. And not just because it's his hometown, but because if you're going to build this man, he shouldn't lose in his hometown.
Yeah.
You know, if you weren't going to build him, it is what it is. You know, but it seems like they're really going to build him. They really did put on a hell of a match, the both of them. The transition when Swerve went from, oh God, of course now I'm blanking out on the exact transition, but when he kind of did I'm saying it wrong now. When he did the transition, when he went up and then went to the suplex, the twisting suit, like that whole shit, man. Those two worked. Like they worked their asses off. So I can say that the right man won. Out of that, what I don't like is that now next week on Tuesday is going to be Swerve versus Bryan for the TNT title. Why?
Number one contendership.
Okay, but that's what you're right. But still, why? Like, we're talking about world champions here. No, it should be to be number. Granted, yes, we know Jay White is going to face MJF at Full Gear, which is fine. But this should be for the number one contendership for the world heavyweight title. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well,
I'm sorry.
Well, you got to also remember, again, this is Swerve's. Y'all got to look at Swerve's story. Swerve made that declaration clear that, again, this is why the whole thing that he baited Hangman to face him, because he's like, if he was in Hangman's shoes, he would right now already been the first ever black AEW world champion. So why not go through the story as you're actually going to go against, if not the major players, former world champions or major players to get to that road. So it only makes sense. It's like you got past first. You beat Hangman Page. He's a former AEW world champion, and he's one of the main event players on in this company, and you beat him. First obstacle, first stage done. First stage done for Swerve. I think Swerve is just gonna, if this is the number one contendership for the TNT title, all right. That's the first step. Nothing wrong with that. Because right now, as you can see the TNT title picture, is looking like it's about to be just as important as the AEW World Championship again. It's got life. If Swerve, let's say hypothetically Swerve was even to win and won that TNT title belt, with him with Mogul Embassy, that shit would be more important than the AEW World Championship, only depending on what's going on with Max and
absolutely
and Jay White. Only what depends on who ends up winning that belt. And honestly, might want to go to Jay. But besides that, I think Swerve's story is just his story to me, go through, knock down every single one of these main event players, and then you're gonna you're gonna take the shot. You're gonna take it. It's coming.
So, and I get where you're going. You know what I mean? I can't necessarily disagree with you. I guess it's just for me, you can still build a number one contender spot for the heavyweight championship, even though there's already somebody challenging for it. Just because you become number one contender doesn't necessarily mean that you don't continue to build, because he can still challenge these former world champions and still win. And I guess you can say, quote unquote, build that legacy, right? Or build that build, or build that build. But yeah, I mean, either way, I like I said, man, I was just really happy for him. Before we get to our next topic, there is something I wanted to cover. So today is October 5th, and in 1993, one of the greatest actors in our childhood debuted, and that was Jason David Frank as Tommy Oliver as the Green Ranger. So first and foremost, I just want to say RIP to somebody who gave us so many different memories when we were kids. Moses, what's going on, bro? But I thought that was actually really cool. Listen, man, he's a legend. What can we say, right? He's the man. He's the man. So let's get to our next topic. As QS was alluding to earlier,
I mean, RIP to him.
Yeah, man. He's the fact that Comic-Con is next week and he's not going to be there is so wild to me. But we'll talk about that on the next show because, of course, I'm going because it's my favorite holiday. So as QS was alluding to earlier when he did his pick for WrestleDream, at the end of the show, all the rumors became true. The man formerly known as Edge, Adam Copeland, is now in AEW. He has Metalingus, which is fucking awesome. We found out that Legend Gone Too Soon. Absolutely. He's Moses is talking about JDF. I realized it's only one letter off. It's crazy. No, actually it's 2 letters off, but it's still 3 letters. But Adam Copeland, formerly known as Edge, still the rated R superstar, showed up on AEW. He looked like he was going to hit the concerto on Sting. Then he hit Nick Wayne. He hit Luchasaurus. Christian Cage left the ring. And he did show up on Dynamite. Said he, talked to Christian Cage about becoming tag champion. And Christian Cage told him to go fuck yourself. So it's going to be very interesting to see the road that goes down now. He is a full-time talent. So we want to keep that in mind also. He is doing this full-time. And as we know, this is going to, no matter how long it is, it's quite possible that this is his last contract and his last real run. I think it is really cool to see him in a different atmosphere. Because we saw him in WWE for so long. And look, and before we get into certain intricacies, I just want to cover a few things that he said before we jump into things. Because there is a very big question outside of the question that they see on the screen. And if you guys are listening, I will say it, of course. But there is a few very important things. Number one, he said something I've been preaching, that this tribalism is ridiculous. You should just be a fan of wrestling, period. Not saying that you don't have to dislike things, but it's the tribalism and the separation that makes wrestling not fun for people anymore. Number two, he made this decision off of a few reasons. Number one being that he felt like WWE and himself could not come up with anything new for him. So that's fair. I think that's completely fair. Also, that he was speaking to his two daughters, and his 9-year-old said, "Daddy, I think you should go to AEW and have fun with Uncle Jay," which, if you guys don't know, Christian Cage. So he made his decision. So my question to you guys is this, right? Before we get into the question that follows this topic, all of this talk about, or let me rephrase this. How do you feel about all of these fans talking about that since he made his way to AEW, now all of a sudden he should be kicked out of the Hall of Fame?
That's well for one, that's how you know this is why I say you see the age in a lot of the wrestling fans on here, because this is honestly what I wanted to talk. This is one of the things I wanted to talk about. So simple. Edge had even said it himself. He has love. He loves WWE, loves them for life, always has, always will. He gave him 25 years of his career. They were able to give him his wife and his family and his current family right now. He's always going to be grateful to them. And even then, WWE is even happy for him. They're happy for him. Bottom line, he already explained it. The reason why it didn't work out is because at the end, they just didn't have anything for him. They didn't have anything for him. They basically, as he said, they kind of outgrew each other. There just wasn't anything left. And it was okay. He wanted to do more. He wanted to do more, and they just didn't have anything for him. And it's just like he basically did it all already.
He said himself, he couldn't come up with anything either.
He couldn't come up with anything. So, he had already put in his remember he had already had in his contract at that time that he did not want to win any titles. So at then it was just like, oh, it's already limited. Your contract before, you were only there for 10 about 10 times a year. That's how they put it on his schedule. So it's just like, all right, he wanted to do more. So why not, come over here and want to end his career the perfect way. He really ended it in WWE on a good note. You ended it out on top. So that's fine. That's excellent. Excellent. That's excellent when they do that. And then at the same time, why not really want to end it the right way with your best friend of 40 years? It's a no-brainer. You've been friends with this dude more than you were in this business, as long as you've been in this business. So it just makes sense. Let's just do it like that. I feel like as fans, y'all are doing all of this, these engagements talking about, oh, should he be kicked out of the Hall of Fame? You guys are calling him a traitor. Y'all are taking this shit way too fucking seriously. I don't even care that this is all for y'all doing this shit for engagement. I get it. Y'all doing this forever. Your algorithms for whatever other podcasts y'all are doing or whatever platforms y'all are on that you clearly aren't getting paid. Y'all not getting paid enough, but you guys are trying to do it. It's just not healthy. This shit is weird. It's not that serious. Y'all are way too invested into what these individuals, their decisions are, because at the end of the day, you don't know them. They don't know you. I'm gonna repeat it again. You don't know them. They don't know you. Shout out to Riley Ritz. That's his saying right there. You don't know them. You don't have any type of connection to these people. This is like, it's like a parasocial relationship. But it's like it's getting way too weird. It's getting weird.
Yeah.
The shit isn't even fun no more. We can't even enjoy it for what it is. Just be happy. Yeah, I get it. You control a little bit, be like, oh great. Now this old dude here. Now this old dude's here in this company. Now here you go. Another one. Another ex-WWE guy. Yeah, you control a little bit about that. But when y'all get too big, too fucking serious, talking about, oh, this is the game changer, or y'all sitting here trying to say like this is the greatest. Y'all even coming out with the extra shit talking about this is the greatest debut of all time in AEW history, and it's just like, okay. I would rather y'all just admit. I would just rather y'all like admit that if this is y'all first time, I guess, seeing Edge return, because I guess you guys missed it in 2020. Okay, say that. Just tell me that. But don't sit here and make up these false equivalencies on Twitter and on X and shit and talking about should he get removed from the Hall of Fame? Oh, this is the greatest return of all time. Oh, this is the game changer. Buckle up. All this extra dumb shit. It's like, huh? What? What are y'all talking about? Like, what are we talking about here? That's just my take on it. I'm happy for Edge. I'm happy. Well, not Edge. I'm happy for Adam. I'm down to see what Adam does. Him saying that he wanted to wrestle Okada. Good luck. Good luck.
I think that's going to be a real fun match, man.
Let's remember, brother, you are 50. And Okada is he ain't rough. So he's not soft dude. So it's like, we're just be careful. Be careful. But I can't wait to see it. I think this is actually a good pickup for AEW regardless. They can learn from Edge. Edge is he's willing to give the knowledge. He's willing to embrace, and they're willing to embrace him. He's willing to embrace them back. He's a team player. And you saw it, and clearly you saw it when he was over there with the Judgment Day. He's a team player. He's ready. He's going to be willing to feed the knowledge, like pour into everyone, because that's going to make it better. Makes it better for everyone.
Absolutely, and I think there is a talking about that whole stigma, right? Mm-hmm. First off, just because somebody makes a move doesn't mean they got to get out of the Hall of Fame. Like, what kind of shit is that? Okay, you have somebody like Billy Gunn who ended up in the Hall of Fame after the fact, but still, you know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't have to put him in it. They didn't have to invite him to be a Hall of Famer with DX. You know what I mean? Like, first off, y'all egg sucking, basement dwelling, sad sack of shits, like, need to do something with your life. Like, I read a tweet that said, forget touching grass, you gotta roll in that mother, because y'all are really
those are the ones that that they haven't felt that warm embrace. They haven't felt that warm embrace. And if you know what I'm talking about, then you know what I'm talking about. I'm keeping it because I know kids are watching us at the moment. Yeah, y'all haven't felt that warm embrace. Y'all didn't get to touch. Y'all didn't get to touch one yet. Y'all didn't get to touch a bosom. Y'all didn't get to do none of that. You guys are just way too aggressive, way too angry, way too combative on here about when it comes to wrestling. I just want everybody to remember, you guys are really sitting here arguing online. We're arguing about grown men and women in leotards and tights trying to entertain us in a craft. It's like, it's not that deep. It's not that deep.
But let's not forget, not right? Now, somebody said something to me. A pro wrestler said something to me. We were talking about working in the wrestling business, and they said, "Yo, wait, but you're a podcaster," and I said, "Yeah." About wrestling, I said, "Yeah." He said, "Then you're in the wrestling business." I said, "You know what? That's a good way to look at it." But here's the thing, man. Mm-hmm. And you know what? And I want to shame people who say that they're for our wrestling, but then show their bias and talk mad shit. Because I am a person who truly, I don't know how many times I gotta say this shit on any and every platform. I am a person who can truly fucking say that he is a fan of wrestling. It's not that I take everything in, it's not that I like everything, but I enjoy pro wrestling for all that it encompasses. Without pro wrestling, let's be honest, I wouldn't have my family right now. So there's something to be said when there are when there's talent saying, if we're not making a big deal out of this, why are you? So now this is also outside of Tony Khan, because Tony wants this to be a competition. You're going up against a company that's been around for decades, damn near, if not half a century.
Mm-hmm.
So cut it out. Just stop. It's irritating. It's annoying. This is the reason why we don't have more open-minded fans, because of assholes like you. All right. And if you don't agree with me, that's absolutely fine. Just know that I don't give a shit. All right. With that being said, let me get to this question. What veteran in any company do you think AEW would benefit from? Strike, let's start with you.
Well, part of my absence, but I'm good now, so I'm here.
You good?
Okay, so we can. Does the number count? Can I just name drop and we can just
Give
discuss?
me 3.
Oh, perfect. That's the number I was thinking. Dolph Ziggler,
Okay.
Shelton Benjamin. And I'm gonna pick somebody from Impact.
Not good.
I would probably say Frankie Kazarian.
Again?
As in, like, oh, sorry, no, you're wrong. I mean, well, you're right. Sorry, I'm wrong. You're right. Excuse me. No, not again. Let me think somebody different. Still Impact though, but I'm gonna think somebody different.
Okay.
Probably Eric Young.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah, Eric Young hasn't been to AEW and he's back in Impact, and that just opens the gateway for him to, do whatever it is he pleases, crossovers, whatever.
It's true.
So I think that's a perfectly fine person to choose, who's been, through the rough, Team Canada, had the bit of the, what was it, like, the mentally, I wouldn't say mentally challenged, but he had a bit of a, like, crazy stint as a character, and then now he turned into cult leader, and he's had a crazy ride, and he's been around a while. He's clashed with a lot of people.
He's also had both, not only the indie scene, but he's also had both TNA and I'm separating this for a reason. He's also done TNA, Impact, and NXT /
Right.
WWE. So like, he has the knowledge of different companies at different times.
Yep.
So he can kind of, not only is it kind of like a front of house situation, but it's also a back of house situation, right? Granted, I don't necessarily think any more wrestlers need to be in charge, but that's neither here nor there. And I don't mean that to be disrespectful to the wrestlers. I just think there's certain approaches that need to happen. I'm gonna pick somebody else from Impact that actually just became a free agent. I think Sami Callihan would do really well in AEW. I think his style of wrestling would help a lot. Him and Mox, obviously, I think would put on, if they, they like, AEW likes doing death matches. So I think they would do extremely well with a death match. But I think Sammy would also bring something different to the table for them. When I think vets, I mean, who you picked was was I think top notch. I think somebody that they would benefit from knowledge wise, or at least I'm trying to say this the right way. At least when it comes to match psychology, and we're talking about anybody, right?
Mhm.
Shawn Michaels. I think if Shawn ever stepped away from the WWE, man, his knowledge base of wrestling psychology would be so instrumental to the growth of AEW. Um, it would I think that would be insane if it was to happen. And the last one, man, I mean, because here's the thing, right? They already have Big Show, they already have Mark Henry, they already have Sting. Um, oh man,
Jericho.
oh yeah, definitely can't forget Jericho.
I mean, truthfully, you got Brian as well.
No, yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
They do have a wealth of knowledge there.
Mox,
Nigel McGuinness.
Moxley, Cesaro, Nigel, Taz. I think when it comes to match psychology, especially for tag teams, and I'm not saying that there's, excuse me, I'm not saying anything ill about the tag teams. I'm just saying when it comes to certain aspects, because a lot of people still view AEW as a indie promotion with a lot of money, right? I think Bully Ray or Bubba Ray Dudley. I
Great
think
choice.
the way his match and obviously let's not forget the Hardys, they're there too, but I think Ray and now obviously now Adam Copeland and Christian Cage. But yeah, I think Billy Ray would or Bully Ray would help so much, especially for like heel work. You got to remember not only for his heel work in the WWE as a tag, but man, his Impact stuff or his TNA stuff when he was part of Aces and Eights, and the way his mind works for the business when it comes to that, it would be so instrumental to a lot of people's characters. Right? I think Wardlow would do tremendous with the mindset of Bully Ray. Powerhouse Hobbs, I believe, is another one that would help. It would help so much, make leaps and bounds, if you will. But yeah, those are my picks. QS, do you have any?
My picks, I would say you have to go with 3 veterans. I'd say AJ Styles.
Yeah,
I would use Tanahashi.
great pick.
And the last veteran, it would be a toss-up between the likes of Mickey James
Great pick.
or Aja Kong.
Oh wow, that's an awesome pick.
Yeah,
That's an amazing.
I would go, and and the reason why I obviously would say either Mickey or Aja. Obviously, Mickey, boom, you already know she's basically the greatest knockouts champion of all time.
Mhm.
Probably second to maybe tied with Gail Kim, but it's because like she basically has led. You can see like leading that force of the knockouts division. Like you could tell, like the knockouts division by far has like the best women's wrestling in America, point blank, period. You could take that over and put her in that atmosphere of AEW, and it could work. And it would even flourish and make it even better. Aja, I would say I would want her over there because Aja would help add more ruthlessness. It's like that they already have. They have the hunger. They have the grit. It just needs the ruthlessness to get there. And it's just like I think it would work. Like Aja obviously, you know, if you go and look at the videos of old, obviously, you know, when she was wrestling back in the, you know, the old WWF, she was already a step above, way ahead of the time. Way ahead of the times. It would be perfect. That style is perfect for AEW, just in my opinion. I think it would work.
Right. No, definitely. And you know what? You know what's another really good pick too for the ladies? I think somebody like Jazz would be amazing for them. And I think it's on the same level of like the ruthlessness, right? I think Jazz has had such an amazing career to begin with that, man, when it comes to just being just badass, right? That's like literally the best way to put it. And you know what? I'm surprised we didn't say your boy, Undertaker. If Undertaker ever decided to make that step over, man, talk about character work, right? Like
it would work. The reason why I like withheld and said like Taker is only because it's like I withheld from like the guys like Taker, like Austin, only because I think at this point in their life, I feel like at this point in their career in their lives, they're good. They're good now. They just
oh no,
they're done.
absolutely.
Like
Absolutely.
They don't need, I think like they okay. Like Taker, he's good right now. He likes doing his one dead man show, like telling his stories. Yeah. It's cool. Like I think it's good. I don't want him to be back into the traveling over there from I can't say want him traveling state to state because he's doing it with a show, but it's okay. I don't want him to be, it's okay. Like let him be away from wrestling for a little while. Like,
right.
Let us really miss him for a good bit. Like let him enjoy his retirement for real. Like just let him enjoy his retirement, and got to get him to go back to work and be in the wrestling atmosphere again. And you know, like being like trying to like, you know, teach, being a coach or hell being a producer. I don't need him to do that. I don't need him to do that right now. Just chill. He's chilling.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I had to sneeze. So we have two more topics. You know what, Q? This one's yours. So we're going to talk about something a little different, something we don't normally talk about on the show. And that is the former GOP speaker, Kevin McCarthy, being removed as the Speaker of the House. Q, I am going to give you the spotlight, sir.
I mean, I really would. It's perfect because I honestly wish that Stretch was on here too, because this would have went hand in hand. But yes, you know, like recently, as you guys know, yes, Kevin McCarthy definitely did get removed as Speaker of the House in a historic unanimous vote. It was about 216 to 210. About 8 Republicans actually voted him out. It's actually funny in a sense because Kevin McCarthy has been trying to be Speaker of the House for a very long while. He was literally trying to get to that position even before when Nancy Pelosi was Speaker. And even when finally getting it, they couldn't agree on like certain policies or like how certain bills need to be signed and functioning. And then of course we're looming on another government shutdown. They just had enough of him. They just had enough. They're just like, no, we're good. Just get out. They're done. It's actually funny because again, he's the first Speaker of the House that's ever gotten voted out. Like this is so it is. That's why it's historic, but it's actually funny because it's like, wow, you've been trying this hard to get to this point. You felt it because, you know, Speaker of the House, you know, you're sitting here, you guys as the House of Representatives, you guys of Congress, you guys can sit here, try to make these laws, basically blocking everything when it comes We don't. You guys already know what it is. I don't really have to give you guys the history lesson. You guys already know. But it's just a form of, again, either way, I feel like we are still basically like going through some type of impending doom, because I personally feel like a lot of these lawmakers, these policy holders, they have been in this atmosphere. They're being in these spaces for too long, especially much older representatives, much older representatives. They've been in here for too long. I personally don't feel that anyone in the House or even in the Senate, they only should be there for one term. I feel like that term only should be one term for one term each. I think it's the same thing also for the Supreme Court. I believe that the Supreme Court shouldn't even be for life. I feel like, honestly, if anything, after 4 years, they all need to be voted out as well. I think that's fair. I think that is a fair freaking assessment. That's just how I feel. If not, because again, you can't sit here. We saw, if people don't learn with history always has taught us that we should not have these pillars or these tokens of power, positions of power should be held for this long. Like history showed, like FDR, right? Obviously, people want to say like FDR is one of the greatest presidents of all time. FDR was president 4 times. 4 times, way too long. He was in a whole wheelchair and still being president. And once he had died, that's when they changed it to the max one a president can do is max 2 terms. That's it. So it's like, if you could do that for the president, why can't you do that for Congress? Why can't you do that for the House of Representatives? Why can't you do that for the Senate? Why can't you do that for the Supreme Court as well? Why is it that we still have these old decrepit, I want to say devils. Yes, I want to say these old decrepit devils still in power, trying to make all of these laws or pass these bills on all our ways of lives. Like, we can't. You have trying to go on the way of life of on a woman, for a woman being able to do what she wants with her body. Why we have these lawmakers making all these decisions on what people want to do and when they want to who they want to get married to. It literally makes no fucking sense. It's like it makes no sense. And it's like we're literally sitting here watching Congress having a dick swinging contest with each other, and it gets to the point where when they keep doing that, now they have to be on another shutdown, and all these other government agencies, when that happens, they don't get paid. And if they don't get paid, that trickles down. What ends up happening? That ends up trickling down, unfortunately, to us. So it's like, yo, when is it going to end? But it is. But I'm not gonna lie. The fact that Kevin McCarthy got voted out, I mean, it's a start. But at the same time, it still doesn't change anything. Y'all are still sitting on hands. Y'all are literally sitting. You guys are all sitting on your hands, just literally just not trying to make a move. Y'all not trying to make a move on what's right. Do the right, like. They do need to get it together, but I mean, I just wanted to talk about that real quick because it was funny, and it was funny for the history makers. It was hilarious. I would have, but again, it would have been a better conversation, I know, if our brother Stretch was here, but I understand.
Yeah, and we're listen. What we can do is we can revisit it on a later day and have you guys, because I mean, I don't think I've ever said it, but I'm not really into politics as much. But we can have you guys have a stronger conversation.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So let's just go to the main event of the show real quick, and which is this Saturday at 8 p.m. Is WWE Fastlane. So we're just gonna talk about what match we're really excited about and who of that match we think is going to win.
Okay.
And there's a lot of rumors going around. I don't even want to get into those rumors. I don't want them to affect what we think is going to happen. So, gents, what match at Fastlane are you excited about?
I'll go first.
The women's triple threat for me is going to be fun. That's going to be a fun match. I think I'm going to enjoy that one. Obviously, you know, we've seen it before with Io and Asuka. They always knock it out. They had knocked it out of the park on that SmackDown for that women's title. That was dope. So I honestly do think that this triple threat, even with Charlotte, it's gonna deliver. It's gonna do it. It's gonna do its best thing. I personally do believe that Charlotte is gonna probably have Asuka in the figure 8, and she's gonna get hit with that moonsault again, and that's gonna end it. That's what I personally believe. I think the other, while the John Cena LA Knight versus Solo and Jimmy, it's gonna be a fun match for the likes, just for LA Knight. For me, it's gonna be fun to see LA Knight and Cena, I guess. But at the same time, I just don't really care for Jimmy, and I feel bad because it's like I just don't care. I really don't care. I know where he stands in the story. I know where he stands. And I know, like, you know, we've joked around and said that, you know, he's the inside man. He's going to be the inside man to, like, basically really destroy the bloodline. But I just don't. It's just not. Jimmy as a heel just never convinces me. He just can't. I think that's what it is. Jimmy just does not convince me as a heel. He doesn't. He does not. And I get it. This is seeing him separate from his brother is a way for us to, like, really see if we could gravitate towards them individually. But with Jimmy, it's just like, It's like, what are you doing? And he always has like the smug look and everything. And it's just like, bro, like it's not working, bro. Not for me. Like you're not a heel. I don't believe you. I just don't believe it.
Right.
Got you. Strike.
To add to that as well, because I completely agree with the Jimmy stuff. I'm not really caring too much. What I will say is, think of it this way, just for the bloodline story. What if Jay got out, and being that Jimmy is still in,
allegedly,
Jimmy could probably be the inside man. He could be doing everything in his power to try to shift the power, maybe to Solo, or to make Solo become his own man, and he could be working from the inside the whole time. We haven't seen Roman in however many weeks. So at some point, hey, you know, I'm going to act the clown. I'm going to act the fool. I'm going to be the comedy relief as well as, you know, the troublemaker. And whatever trouble I cause is going to fall back on Roman. Whatever I do or say, Roman's always getting called, no matter what I do. So at this point, you got to put a little respect on him in the sense of there's so many possibilities what his character can be, but he chooses to be an annoying heel character and a goofy character at that, possibly to mask what the real plan is. So as for what I want to see at Fastlane, I want to see Rollins versus Nakamura.
Yep.
I need them to finally confirm that this feud is over. Whether Shinsuke wins or not, I will be content. But I do need them to have a definitive end to the storyline, at least for now.
No, definitely. For me, man, it's so weird because I think y'all kind of hit a lot of the nails on the heads for me. I kind of want to say oh man, actually it's really hard because I'm excited about all the matches that you guys said. You know, the tag team title match for me, which is Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso, excuse me, versus the Judgment Day for the tag team titles. For me, the story isn't about Cody or Jay. The story is about the Judgment Day.
Yep.
And what's going to happen with them? Are they going to implode? Are they going to add a new member? If they are going to add the new member, then when are they going to implode? Does Damian turn face from this? Does Finn break off and does do his own thing with JD? I think there's a lot of variables when it comes to the Judgment Day right now. And like I said, it all depends on. Excuse me. It all depends on what the next step is, right? So for me, I think that's the match I'm excited for. Also, once again, it's not necessarily for Cody and Jay. It's for the Judgment Day. But Fastlane is going to be a good card, I think, altogether. And yeah, we just got to wait and see what happens, man. As we know, next Tuesday, we have NXT and AEW on at the same time. And, NXT is stacked. We got the Prodigy, Roseanne Perez.
Counter programming at its finest.
Yeah, well,
they're trying to outdo each other.
Yeah, what else is new, right? Her versus possibly the greatest NXT champion of all time, Asuka. We have Carmelo Hayes with John Cena in his corner versus Braun Breaker with Paul Heyman in his. There's a lot going on, man, next week for NXT. But AEW, Adam Copeland, a rated R superstar, formerly known as Edge,
Happy birthday,
in his first
Tony.
Oh, word! Shout out to Tony. Happy birthday.
Tony. Tony Khan's birthday is next Tuesday for title.
No wonder.
So that's the perfect gift. I mean, now you're gonna go head to head with NXT, and if NXT gets
sorry, I shouldn't say that.
If NXT gets to 1 million next week, don't be surprised.
Right? Cody Rhodes is going to show up. Like, that's the only reason I think what I think. But once again, I hate ratings, but that's neither here nor there. And AEW has Adam Copeland versus Luchasaurus. They have the AEW Women's title on the line. Hikaru Yoshida versus the champion Saraya. We have John Moxley versus Rey Fenix for the International Championship. So there's a lot going on next week. Also, we have the fallout of Fastlane, so we get to see what's happening with Seth Nakamura, what's happening with the Judgment Day. So yeah, next week's going to be crazy. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for. Appreciate y'all every time you guys join and or comment and or like or share. We appreciate y'all so very much.
Did my shit freezer?
Let's do what we do. Of course it did. Of course it froze. Like I was saying, we appreciate y'all.
Yeah, everybody's froze.
My bad. It's connection. I don't know where it left off, so I'm going to say it again. We appreciate y'all so much for rocking with us. Thank you for coming. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for always being a part of our community. Gentlemen, let's do what we do.
Well, I guess we freeze. That's what we do.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. We freezing again. Sorry for the technical difficulty. But you already know life. You already know y'all can follow me on Instagram, man, on Twitter at Forever Thiefing. Like I said, just like, continue to like, subscribe. We are trying to get back on the other streaming platforms. I know right now, yes, you can only find us on CBD Multimedia and on YouTube. But we're working on it. Just stay tuned. Appreciate y'all all for rocking with us. Hey, appreciate y'all even stopping in. If you do stop in, just hear us talking about wrestling and occasionally other shit. But we'll see you. If anything, we'll see you guys in another 2 weeks. We still trying to test these waters, see how it all really works out with our schedules. But thank you, always. Thank you.
The big homie is not here, but Big Stretch, Professor Stretch. You can find him at Jador Sapio on Instagram, and is that Stretch on Twitter.
And hello, as you can see, I'm bugging out. Name Stryker Dragoon, Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch all the same. YouTube at Stryker Dragoon 131. A lot to play, a lot to get into. Cyberpunk 2077. I got a Bomb Funk Cyber Rush that I still have to get into. Modern Warfare 2 has new skins that I want to try, which include Spawn, Alucard from Helsing, Skeletor, Ash Williams from Evil Dead, and the list goes on and on and on. Let me see what else. One more game. What am I thinking of? Is there anything? Oh, the big game this month, Spider-Man 2, comes out on the 20th.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
Which unfortunately it will be short like the first game, which will be 17 hours, but that's not bad. I mean, there's plenty of side missions to do, so you're probably gonna bump that up to like 40 hours, maybe. So they said they wanted to just keep the story going, but they didn't want to overwhelm anybody with like hundreds and hundreds of hours of content, which I have no issue with. At all. But just check me out on YouTube, check me out on Twitch, check me out on Twitter if I'm ever live on Twitter, and you'll be seeing whatever games I have to play. That's it.
And as always, you can follow me at Mr. Marvel 87, both on Instagram and Twitter. You can follow my mental health show, A Different Angle, on Instagram and Twitter at 88pod 2023. Guys, you can always send in topics also if you want to talk about certain things with mental health at 88pod 2023 at gmail.com. And also, if you want to listen to our back catalog, it is both on com, where you mine and my partner Rodney's most recent. You can follow us on the CBD network, where you can also follow the Four Corners of Commentary and a whole bunch of other the CBD podcast, and we just started Susio Sports. They dropped their second episode, so you can listen to that on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Some of the shows will be coming out soon on YouTube. Also, make sure you follow the Four Corners of Commentary on YouTube, the Count of Commentary, and Twitter at CO Commentary. Also, you can follow us on TikTok at Council of Commentary. Also, Instagram and all the other good stuff. On any of our make sure you hit the 5 stars if you're following us on any of your streaming platforms, and leave comments. We really appreciate it. So for Stretch, QS, Stryker, and me, K Marvel, we are your Four Corners of Commentary. We appreciate y'all, and we out. Peace. Stay positive.
I got eyes in the back back of my head I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got it. I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough Cause time. I'ma live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning.